Level 1. The first key. You're 23. You just got your first real bonus, $9,000 after taxes. You're sitting at your desk at 2 a.m., scrolling Bring a Trailer, and you see it. A 2008 BMW M5 E60, the naturally aspirated V10, 6-speed manual, 78,000 miles, Silverstone metallic over black leather. You bid $32,000. You win it for $34,500. Your father calls you stupid. Your friends say the V10 will grenade itself. The internet is full of horror stories. Rod bearings, throttle actuators, Vanos failures. You don't care. You get the car shipped from California. You drive it home from the freight yard, and the first time you cross 5,000 RPM, the V10 howls like an F1 engine, and you understand something nobody else around you understands. This is the last naturally aspirated V10 sedan ever built. They will never make this car again. You park it in a rented garage, you buy a battery tender, you start reading auction results every single morning before work. Level 2. The Awakening. 3 years pass. You've put $11,000 into preventive maintenance. Rod bearings. Vanos. The car is now mechanically perfect. It's also worth $48,000. You were right about everything. So you start adding. A 2004 Mercedes E55 AMG, supercharged 5.4 V8. Designo Mystic Blue, $19,000. A 2009 Cadillac CTS-V, 6-speed manual, 6.2 supercharged, $26,000. A 2007 Audi RS4 sedan, the 4.2 V8 that revs to 8,250, $38,000. 4 cars, all under $50,000 future classics. Your friends still drive leased Camrys. You drive the Cadillac in spring, the Audi in summer, the BMW in fall, the Mercedes in winter. You read auction reports the way other people read the news. You learn which colors matter, which documentation matters. Original window sticker, 2 keys, books, tools, service records from day one. You're not a guy with cars anymore. You're building a thesis. Level 3. The Connoisseur. You buy a house with a 6-car garage, climate-controlled, polished concrete floors. A 2013 BMW M5 in frozen blue individual paint, 6-speed manual, one of 47 ever built in that exact combination, $89,000. A 2014 Mercedes E63 AMG S, the last M157 twin-turbo V8 before emissions detuned it, $61,000. A 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio in Rosso Competizione with carbon ceramic brakes, $54,000. You fly to Amelia Island for the first time. You don't bid, you just watch. You spend 3 days walking the lawns, listening to dealers talk to dealers. At the Gooding tent, a man in a navy blazer hands you his card. He tells you not to buy another car without calling him first. 3 weeks later, you call. He laughs and says you're playing in the wrong sandbox. He invites you to a private viewing in Connecticut. Level 4. The Investor. The Connecticut viewing is in a barn that isn't a barn. Inside, it's a museum. Cars that aren't on Bring a Trailer aren't on RM Sotheby's. They're traded privately between fewer than 200 people in the world. You write your first 6-figure check, $185,000 for a 2015 BMW M5 30 Jara edition, one of 30 built for the U.S. market. The seller is a hedge fund manager getting divorced. Then a 2019 Cadillac CT6-V Blackwing, the hand-built 4.2 twin-turbo V8. Cadillac built only 275 before they killed the program. You buy 2, one to drive, one to vault, $145,000 each. Then a 2022 BMW M5 CS in Frozen Brands Hatch Gray, the last and greatest M5 ever built. $185,000. Your collection is insured for $2.4 million. You've stopped driving most of them. They sit on battery tenders, on nitrogen-filled tires, in 68-degree air with 45% humidity. You build a private spreadsheet tracking comp sales weekly. You're not a collector anymore. You're a fund manager whose fund is cars. Level 5. The Curator. You sell the house. You buy 14 acres in Litchfield County. You build a facility, 24 bays, an underground vault, a glass-walled lounge that overlooks the collection like an aquarium. You hire a curator full-time, a former Pebble Beach concours judge. He travels for you, Munich, Stuttgart, Modena, Crewe. He calls you from auctions you've never heard of with cars you've only read about. A 2014 Aston Martin Rapide S, the naturally aspirated 5.9 V12. A 2017 Porsche Panamera Turbo Executive in Volcano Gray over saddle brown leather. A 2020 Bentley Flying Spur First Edition with the W12, the last great 12-cylinder Bentley sedan. A 2018 Mercedes-Maybach S650 in Designo Diamond White over porcelain leather. The hand-built M279 Twin-Turbo V12, the last of its kind. You stop counting individual cars. You start counting eras. You have 31 sedans. The collection is insured for $9.8 million. You're invited to the Quail. You walk in not as a guest, but as a peer. Level 6. The Patron. You don't buy from auctions anymore. You commission. You fly to crew. You meet with Bentley Mulliner. You spec a flying spur from scratch. Bespoke paint matched to a swatch you sent them. Veneer cut from a 200-year-old walnut tree on your property. Your initials embroidered into every headrest. Build time, 14 months. Final price, $580,000. You fly to Goodwood. Rolls-Royce, Bespoke builds you a Phantom extended wheelbase. The Starlight headliner is the map of the constellations the night your daughter was born. Marquetry inlays of your home's coordinates. $720,000. Then your advisor calls. A Saudi prince is selling part of his collection. Aston Martin Lagonda Taraf. Only 200 were ever supposed to exist worldwide. He has 2. You buy both. $1.4 million each. You're not buying cars anymore. You're commissioning artifacts. You sit on phone calls with the heads of design at 3 different manufacturers. They send you renderings. You send back margin notes. You're shaping cars that haven't been built yet. Cars that will exist because you wrote a check. Level 7. The Last Custodian. Then the world changes. The European Union announces the end of internal combustion. California follows. Then New York. Then the UK. Then Japan. By 2035, every major market has banned the sale of new gasoline cars. Bentley goes fully electric. Rolls-Royce goes fully electric. AMG stops building V8s. The era ends. You sit in your facility on a Tuesday morning in November and you understand. The cars in your vault are not cars anymore. They are the last of their species. The 2008 BMW M5 you bought for $34,500 is now worth $310,000. The Cadillac CT6-V Blackwing is worth $625,000. The Aston Martin Lagonda Taraf is worth $4.8 million. The hand-commissioned Bentley is worth $2.1 million because Bentley Mulliner doesn't build combustion bespoke anymore. The Maybach S650 is worth $890,000 because no one on Earth will ever build a hand-assembled V12 sedan again. The Peterson Museum calls. A Saudi sovereign wealth fund offers you $180 million for the entire vault. You decline because you understand now what you didn't understand at 23. You weren't collecting cars, you were collecting the last evidence of an entire era, the last manuals, the last V12s, the last hand-built engines, the last sedans, period. Because the world stopped buying sedans a decade ago and every manufacturer killed the body style. You walk through your facility at night, you touch each hood as you pass, you stop at the M5, you start it. The V10 howls one more time and bounces off the polished concrete walls, and you realize you are one of the last people on Earth who will ever hear a naturally aspirated V10 sedan start cold on a November morning. You are not a collector. You are a custodian of a closed chapter, and the world will never see another sedan like these again.